Okay. Ooh, that's called We're Going Live for Lunch. How about it? Okay. We we try to open with the NFL because it's the NFL. Monday is over. Everybody who lost money won money. Everyone who's excited or who's tripping, everyone who's trying to, figure out what's their plays for this week, how to sort my fantasy roster league, all things above, right? And so as we get into this with you guys, I want you guys to understand Monday Night Football has not quite been the Monday Night Football we've all hoped for. Just being honest there. However, I will take you through the game and what I thought. Russell Wilson, let's start there. Again, I spoke to it earlier. I don't think Russell Wilson and the Broncos have what it takes to really move anything. I look, they're 2-4. They played a Chargers team that I felt was loaded. All of the defensive pickups that the Broncos have that should make a difference. My man PS2 Patrick Surtain, they should call him Patrick Surtain. He's certainly gonna lock you down. I call him PS2 because he wears number 2. His initials are PS, obviously. They are playing well. The defense, listen, you held the Chargers, the defense held the Chargers to 19 points. A Chargers team when Herbert threw that ball 50 plus times. So the defense is built to take them somewhere. Right now, they're not playing that style of game. Okay, so what do I mean? The Chargers threw the ball 57 times, but they had the possession. They won time of possession 38 minutes and 49 seconds versus Denver's 28 minutes and 33 seconds. Also, if Herbert threw the ball 57 times, how much did Wilson throw the ball? He did not throw the ball 57 times. He threw the ball 28 times. And for some reason, look, he had a touchdown. He went 15 for 28, 188 yards, and a touchdown, which would lend to you thinking that they ran the ball 20 plus times or more. But they didn't. They ran the ball 27 times, but 4 of the runs came from Wilson, 2 of him scrambling. I think they had a few of them quarterback call runs. I don't look at the end of the day. There's no secret to how you win in the NFL. I think you can win in college a variety of ways, but because the speed, the strength, and size index, for the most part, this is all the same. There are formulas to it. And right now, I think Denver has the team and the quarterback for the formula to win, but is a throw the ball 20 sometimes, run the ball 30 sometimes. Minus the fumble turnover. Maybe that discouraged them to run the ball, but I don't think it should have. Be that as it may, the Chargers walked away with this based on, look, the Chargers owned it and they earned it. They owned it and earned it. They're going to throw the ball all over the lot. Justin Herbert threw the ball 37 for 57 for 238 yards and no touchdowns in a pick. We know he's going to sling the ball. We know that's who he's going to be. It is what it is. All I'm saying is the California Chargers, because I'll mess it up. I've called them LA. I've called them San Diego. I've called them, I think they were I don't know. So I just stick with the California Chargers. I like the ring of that too. Anyway, so they're going to throw the ball. That is something I think they should use Sony Michel a little bit more. I think if the Patriots could go fish him back into the pool, but I think they have a ball club that can make the playoffs and can make some noise. However, I will admit I had the Chargers beating them, but I feel like Denver has some pieces in play that are just not clicking, are not coming together for whatever reason, whether it's Russell Wilson, whether it's the offensive play calls, who knows? I'm not throwing anyone under the bus, but I am saying that defense that Denver is playing with, let me tell you, PS2, Patrick Surtain, number 2, that man is as good as Revis. I just watched it. The man legit. And whatever he giving up, please believe. Like, look, I believe some corners give stuff up because they're overcompensating and because they're trying to make something happen. Like, okay, we got to, like, a real good defense will start taking it upon themselves to try to win a game. However, the Broncos are not leaning into their defense as much as I think they should. If they would, I think they would run the ball 30, 40 times a game and let Wilson make the 12 plays he got to make. Let him throw it 25 times a game, which he did. He threw it 28. He completed 13. He needed to make 2 or 3 more plays for them to win. And unfortunately, he did not get those plays done. And so that, my friends, is why the Chargers, the California Chargers, came up with it on Monday night. All right, so now let's talk about what y'all really want to talk about. I don't know what y'all really want to talk about, to be quite honest. I do want to talk about them boys. Why? Because I have some personal friends who are Cowboy fans, who I have personal friends, family, mentors, mentees, everything that you could have asked for a better timing than that. All right, so anyway, I got everything to say about the Cowboys, but I'll start with this. You guys have been blessed with this dude Cooper Rush playing terrible. Because if Cooper Rush was playing if Cooper Rush knocked off the Eagles, I don't want to hear nothing about Dak. Period. Nobody wants to hear nothing about Dak if Cooper Rush beat the Eagles. And I want you to know, Cooper Rush did all of the Cowboy fans a favor. He did the coaching staff a favor. In fairness, he may have even done himself a favor, because now no one can blame the Cowboys' demise on Cooper Rush. And I talk about the Cowboys quite a bit. And the reason why I don't talk to them quite a bit, but I talk to them about them enough because it's quote unquote America's team. Now, I said it before, I'll say it again. I couldn't tell you what makes them America's team. Really couldn't. Other than the media market of the 60s and 70s. While we still do it, Michael Irvin blessed me with a comment on his show about he is in that space for, oh, wait a minute, we have oh yeah, the missus is home this show. Last week, it was the daughters. The missus does care about the show, though. So the daughters do not care about the show. They don't care. The daughters, they don't care. The missus, she cares. What were you listening to, by the way?
Silver Lining by Jasmine Sullivan.
I thought that was Jasmine Sullivan. I hear that voice. It's just shout out Jasmine Sullivan. I love Jasmine Sullivan. Shout out Philadelphia, which brings me to the next point. Cowboys Philadelphia. Shout out to all of the Philadelphia fans out there. I said it from ground zero, from the opening of the season. Trust the Jalen Hurts method is good, is legit. Ooh, sorry, I was distracted. The Jalen Hurts method works. I'm telling you, he's a leader. He's a dope passer. He's a dope runner. He's not a runner by trade. He's a runner by happenstance, circumstance, and just, I can do it. And so, all right, Cooper Rush had a bad outing. Yes, he did. But he did the Cowboy fans and the coaching staff a favor. I wish he did not have a bad outing. But I again, I put this out here. The Cowboys has a dope defense. The Cowboys, the defense has gotten them through. I know the defense was chirping and talking trash, and I don't consider them talking trash. I think they was owning what they do. They was respecting what they do, and they were talking about what they do. Like, they respect their opponent. Yeah, Jalen Hurts is nice, but watch what we do. Now, for whatever it's worth, the Cowboys ran the ball pretty well. Ezekiel went 13 carries for 81 yards and a tutty. You know, TP, Tony Pollard, went for 11 carries, 44 yards, no tutty. It came back to the 3 picks of my man Cooper Rush. Listen, one thing about the gold rush, it did end. Maybe this is the Cooper Rush ending, but I think he held the line. And if you have heard my Effort and Attitude podcast, First Chair, this man was not slotted for first chair, and he got the call and he showed up. And so shout out to Cooper Rush. Cooper Flag is out here balling. He came up in some conversations locally. Shout out to the basketball season. But getting back to it, shout out to Cooper Rush getting the Cowboys through this 4-game skid. You did your thing, bro. And Dak is coming back. Now, as we talk about the Eagles, Eagles, in my Lexus did not fail me this time. It failed me this time. I got it right. Anyway, and look, at the end of the day, look, Jalen Hurts is go throw the ball about, if he throws the ball 30 times and connects 15 to 18 times, he's probably going to win because the hitting play in his throwing. The hitting play and why and when he finds his receivers. And here's the other thing. You can't even stop his rush yards because it's not always, you don't know when it's going to happen. He is he's masterful at what he does. Miles Sanders' little butt gets busy. He had 18 carries for 71 yards, 1 touchdown. Add Jalen Hurts 27 yards. Look, the Eagles are a great team because they play into Jalen's strengths. They let him do what he does. They don't try to, hey, we need you to sit back there, read 1, read 2, check down. Read 1, read 2, read 3, check down. Like, hey, man, do what you do out there. I think when you find offenses who are even Cooper, like, look, Cooper Rush, they allowed him to do what he does well, and because he's doing it well, they have been able to get by while Dak is out. But don't sleep, and I said it, if Dak gets beat up after he comes back, here Cooper Rush can play the game and can get you by. Is he a playoff winning quarterback? I think we will find out this year because unfortunately, Dak has been hit with the injury bug every year, and I don't know. And I'm knocking on wood. I used to play. I don't want no one getting hurt. I want everyone to stay healthy and prosperous. But being that this is a gladiator sport, and the football gods reign as they reign, I can see Dak getting hurt again. Cooper Rush coming in and doing what he does and getting y'all to the playoffs. Might even win a playoff game. But as we speak to getting that first chair, I got to go to my Patriots. Not my Patriots. I just live in Patriot Nation. And as they say, the Coliseum went it wrong. Yes. I don't know if you like that, but I did. That felt good. Anyway, okay. The Pats. I was in church. Shout out to Pathway, Vineyard, Lewiston. What up? Okay, I was in church, and they asked me, because the Patriots stumped the Lions. I said they were going to stump the Lions because I said the Lions were going to get cute. And I also said Bill Belichick is playing chess, not checkers. And the Lions are playing checkers. Throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball. And they threw themselves into a shutout. Now, go to church, they ask me, Coach, you called that one, huh? I thought the Lions were going to get the Patriots. No, I don't care nothing about their quarterback situation. My man Zappy, Zeke. Look, here is something to be said about, okay, here's how I see the Patriots. The Patriots is I think of the Patriots as your fast food or your franchise restaurant. Here's the menu, dog. Okay, if you cook this way, the food will be the food will move. Period. Now, depending on who the quarterback is and the experience of the quarterback, Bill may allow the quarterback to add to the recipe of that menu. Hey, you know what, coach? I'm going to add a little bit of this, a little bit of that on that. Okay. But generally speaking, there's a formula. When they say the Patriot way, there's a formula. And Bill is going to cut that formula out based on the talent in his kitchen. Okay. Now that we got that set and everybody's mad at Mac Sauce, I also want you guys understand, okay, Mac Sauce is who he is. He had a rough start. This is only year 2. Okay. Zappy may not or may stay the starter. Who knows? Bill Belichick, again, is playing chess, not checkers. To get to a 500 pace and to be in a conversation for the playoff race in their division, he is aligned, put Zappy in a position, and serendipitously, I think he was going to bench Max Sauce anyway just to settle him down. It's year 2, and he didn't come off to a great start. And so, as the football guys may have had it, he gets hurt. Zappy comes in. Zappy, here's the menu. All we need you to do is cook it exactly how the ingredient says. If it says half a cup of sugar, don't put half a cup in a quarter. Don't put a cup and a half. Put half a cup. And here's what I can tell you about this young man. In that first chair series, this man was not thinking to be playing this year. You prepare and you ready yourself to play. But in the NFL, they're very clear on what your role is, how they see you, and the expectations and the possibilities of you playing this year. Because as a quarterback role, you always know something can happen. It's the quarterback position. Them making him number 2, you see why he was number 2 after he was number 3. So being Hoyer was number 2 and he was the cap out coach. Hoyer is almost my age. Like, Hoyer is there for encouragement, player coaching, a lot of different reasons to gap them out if he was hurt for a while. The developmental guy who they had no thought in their mind of him playing. I love these stories, by the way. I've coached. It's not been a team I've ever coached on where Zappy doesn't show himself. And it does not necessarily have to be at the quarterback position. Zappy may show himself on the D-line. Zappy may show himself at the linebackers, the corners, the running backs. There's a Zappy on every team that no one is even thinking about, right? And don't forget, Patriot Nation, y'all wasn't thinking about Tom Brady before he was Tom Brady. It was my man Blitzo, okay? So, Drew, Blitzo was the guy, Tom Brady, yada, yada. We know all that lineage. Y'all want to keep going there. But my point is, when you get your opportunity, most times the opportunity is not going to ask you to do something you can't do. Most times. And in great programs and great organizations, they allow you to do what you do, and they cut the menu out just for you. This is how you cook, and that's who Bill is. This is how you cook, so here's your menu. Add 1 cup of sugar. I'm saying 1 cup. 1 cup of sugar, half a cup of brown sugar, 2 cups of flour. I don't know what I'm making in this recipe. I'm just throwing ingredients out there. But my point is this. Bill Belichick did it again. The Browns came out there trying to be cute, okay? And Bill Belichick is like, Zappy, just make the bread how we said, make the bread, you'll be fine. So if everyone wants to know what does do your job means, that means serve the menu like I gave it to you. That means run the play like we said to run it. Don't get cute. Don't start adding extra ingredients. Don't start doing you know what? I had a coach tell me, don't make stuff up. Don't make stuff up. The playbook is right here if you need to go back and look for a reference to refresh your memory because we're in mid-season. The game plan is right here, okay? And we're going to talk about it in this meeting. when you go out there on Sunday, don't make stuff up. Zappy does not make stuff up, and he has gotten the Patriots in a 3-3 ball game where they're in competition for their conference. Are they going to really beat Buffalo? I could see them pulling off a game in Buffalo or beating Buffalo, splitting this series with Buffalo. But look, are they going to win the division? No. Buffalo should win the division hands down. They should. But that brings me to the next conversation, the JETS. Jets, 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 and Jets. And I've said it again. Look, I don't bet because if I bet, I mush everything. Call me Malik the Mush. Because if you listen to what I'm saying and you bet it, you good. If I bet it, mush. Forget about it. And so, because I'm going to talk about the Jets, I called the Jets would beat because my guy over there, I love the head coach over there at the Jets. I got one of my players. Shout out to my man, Coach Darcy over there. Hey, I see you, dog. You got a beautiful family. Keep doing your thing. Hey, when you get to be the head coach or the GM over there, and then give me a call. Until then, I'm all set. I enjoy watching the Jets do their thing. And I see you. I love the coach over there. I told you once before. He told you. I'm taking note. I'm taking note. I'm taking note. For everybody who has something to say out there about these JETSs, they are on you and they are taking flight. Now, it is not a big deal that they beat the Green Bay Packers. The only reason is a big deal because of Mr. Rogers. And it's a big deal because he was in his neighborhood. Outside of that, the Green Bay Packers are just an okay team this year. They probably would be below okay if Rodgers wasn't Rodgers. And so shout out to the Jets. Shout out to the defense holding Mr. Rogers and company to 10 points. I hear you, coach. Keep taking note. I know what you're doing. I see what you're doing. And New York hears what you're doing. And look, you can't be weak being a New York coach. Just put it there. I don't care what market you in. You cannot be weak in the New York market. You cannot be weak in a Philadelphia market. And my man is a Michiganian. And so I don't expect them to come weak. Say less there, coach. I will. Moving on, what I do want to talk about, though, is for whatever you think about the Zach cat, okay, whatever you think about Zach Wilson, again, this is what you can do with a young quarterback if you temper his throws. I'm just telling you, the man went 10 for 18, 110 yards. He didn't get beat up. He didn't throw a pick. He didn't throw a touchdown. But guess what? His confidence is high because the team won. Quarterbacks ultimately get gauged on their winning percentage. And if he is not winning and he is throwing the ball 50 times, i.e. Justin Fields over there in Chicago, it becomes a junk show in his mind, in his heart, on his body, and in the fan base. So do your quarterback a favor if he's a young guy. Slow it down and be deliberate on the throws that he has. And also ask him, what on the menu that we have I like, coach? Hey, what do you like on the menu, son? Like, cuz, dog, bro, fam, whatever you like, whatever prefix you like to talk to your players. Hey, when you have a young quarterback, sit down, break bread with him. Say, hey, let's talk about the game plan. Talk to me about what plays on here you really like. I'll do you one better. One of the things we used to say to our quarterback, we would break bread with him. I would eat with our starter, and I would say to him, okay, the game is on the line. We got 4 plays to go down the field and score. Give me your 4 plays. You'll find out a lot about your quarterback and what he thinks and what plays he likes. And I wrote those plays down. So if we ever got in that bind where I needed him to use the plays that he was supremely confident in, we called him. Do that. If you just do that, your quarterback will walk away feeling like, okay, I got to make these plays right. When they call him everything else, maybe not. And for all of my high school guys, if you listening, that's an ACT trick I've learned. Answer the questions you know. Oh, okay, whatever. That's just me. My son, thank God he won't have those issues. Anyway, all right, okay. And then my man, Brees Hall, no relation. He went 20 carries for 116 yards, 1 touchdown, and the backup had 6 carries for 41 yards. That is always going to get you money in the NFL if your quarterback can just be efficient. If he goes 10 for 18, 100 plus yards, no pick, no touchdown, and you run the ball, watch your field goal kicker and your defense get busy. Take that to the bank. All right. Excuse me. That's why I got tea today. All right. So that's Green Bay. That's how I feel about Green Bay. That's how I feel about the Jets. I think the Jets are in position. I think the conference is going to come down to if the Patriots can upset somebody. That's how I feel. And it's always got to go through the Patriots. I don't care if they're good, bad, whatever. I wish the Bears had a bet. I wish the Bears could have beaten the Commandos, the Commanders, the Contras, and I can't think of another one. I'm just saying, I wish the Bears could have got it done. Defensively, they balled out, although that's not saying a lot because I think Wentz is over there trying to figure it out. Wentz has been getting beat up from the media. He has not yet found his sweet spot. And unfortunately, man, they getting this dude Fields, boy. I tell you what, man, I do not have the answer. Okay. I don't. I do not have the answer. But Justin Fields coming out is a dog. He is not afraid, and he's tough as nails, and he's athletic. But like, listen, the man he led the team in rushing yards. I don't know that's the winning formula in the NFL. And no disrespect to Robert Griffin because his book is dope. Robert Griffin III. That's just a way to kind of beat up your star person and get all of the nickels out of them on the front end. I guarantee you, watch this offseason, watch the Bears draft a quarterback. And this will be the third quarterback that they've drafted in 3 years. And it's not because none of the quarterbacks were good. They're asking the quarterbacks to be something they're not. No one will think twice about what Max Sauce is at the Patriots because Bill Belichick has protected him. He even protected him in year one with Cam Newton being there to take most of the criticism and then build on that. So now there's nothing there for you. It's a clean slate. Again, man, you got to think about the players and their talent and their future. But I also understand as a coach, you don't get time. You don't get developmental time. And so, I don't know. I guess I'll move on. Shout out to Washington. Getting it done, 12-7. Right? 49ers, Falcons, the Falcons. Ha 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 ha. The Falcons got a W. You got the battle of the middle range. I don't know what to think. I don't know who they are. I'm only telling you San Francisco is where they are because whenever you have that kind of poison leak out about your quarterback, who's the starter that you didn't offload. This is not the 90s or the 80s. For that matter, this ain't dial up either, Chief. Like once you leak something, that leaks into the players' families, personal lives, church life. Like, so if you're not clear, you go trade this man, don't let it leak. And so because of that, they have yet to rectify and think they're 2 years in now with this man. The last time he gets him they make a run with Jimmy G. Soon as it's over, everyone's talking about offloading this guy. Do you know the psychological pressure and trauma behind something like that? Oh, I won a divisional and I got us a step before the Super Bowl, and everyone's talking about offloading me. Like, that's why the 49ers have not really been able to rectify this yet. But they're a good ball club. I think they have a guy, and they're still taking conversations on how to get rid of Jimmy G, which unfortunately happened to the tail end of Joe Montana's career. But they had Steve Young doing that, pushing that monster. I shouldn't say that. Shout out Steve Young. I'm not taking shots at Steve Young, but let me move on. The Falcons, you got it done. No shade to you. I'm just saying, like, look, the Falcons moved on from Matt Ryan, and as they moved on from Matt Ryan, they say, okay, look, this is what we're doing. The Falcons are still recovering from their shabacle, and they picked up Mariota. Now, Mariota went 13 for 14, 129, 2 tutties. You can win with that type of efficiency and no picks. And they ran the ball almost what? They ran, okay, Caleb Huntley had 16 for 59 carry, 59 yards, and Tyler Alligator. I know. I ain't nothing. All right, 15 carries for 51 yards. And then Mariota went for a total of 3 touchdowns, 2 in the air and 1 in the ground. You can win like that. And he didn't throw the ball more than 20 times. They put up 28 points because they relied on their defense and special teams. And they also knew that Jimmy G and the San Francisco 49ers are not clear on their identity, not clear on who their quarterback is. So some of it I feel like is let's give him enough rope to hang himself. And when he done hang himself and he wins a game, it's like, oh, shucks, he won it. Like, it's just bad business, man. To think that, and unfortunately, that's the way of athletics. There's not all. I know you would like to think it's all about winning in athletics, but sometimes ulterior motives seep in, no matter where you are. Uh, and those ulterior motives can be money, can be fame, can be notoriety. Those are all the same challenges of a winning ball club in the locker room. Fame, notoriety, like all of those things, agendas, motives, like that's what separates good teams, average teams, great teams. And believe me when I tell you, I've been on all three. Really, 4 the garbage teams. The trash teams, I've been on those teams too. Because the garbage teams, someone's always pissed off in the locker room. And it's contagious. The other garbage teams, someone's always hurt in the locker room. And that's contagious. The great teams, even when people are hurt, is always some type of encouragement on the hurt person to the new starter. So because of that, like just it's contagious on both ends. Like negativity is contagious, positivity is contagious. Great teams have a natural attraction of one that good teams have a natural attraction of the positive. Average teams try to battle and try to find their identity with the two. And trash teams, unfortunately, don't even have, it's not even on a register. Like they don't even consciously know that they're like passively infecting the next person with their words. Like, because it just is. This is what we do here. And so unfortunately, I think right now, the San Francisco 49ers are dealing with that from the top down. And it spills into the locker room if it's into the media. And so, all right, I'm off my soapbox. Yeah, I'm off. I'm done. And no, really, I mean, I don't want to talk about the Jaguars and Colts. The Colts got it done, and I think the Colts will make a push for the playoff spot, but they'll get kicked. They'll get a wild card spot. Yeah, man. I mean, outside of that, the Dolphins, they go keep doing what they doing. Like, I spoke to emptying the clip. Don't empty the clip. If you can't empty the clip, start playing a different game and rely on different people. The Bengals, they took care of business, although the Saints are still trying to find their identity. And for whatever it's worth, like there are no easy games. So them beating the Saints 30-26 is a quality win. The Ravens, Giants, shout out G-Man. Okay, let me whatever you thought about Coach Dabo. No, that's anyway. Whatever you thought about the head coach, he's on my social. I share. Like, look, man, players, and this I think this would be no consequence to. This is not exclusive to a locker room, and so I would say if you are in a leadership role and you are true to who you are, and you're showing that truth to the people you are leading, I think everyone on the ball club, everyone in that office, everyone in your company will go to distance for you. And they won't go to distance for you based on fear. They'll go to distance for you based on your truth. Like that's the ultimate deal. And so that's what you're looking at with the G-Man. That's what you're looking at. Period. The G-Men are in this position where they are going, they're emptying all tanks, eating. They are ready to eat, empty all tanks for the head coach who has defended them in the media, whom low key his favorite song is Juicy by B.I.G. Notorious B.I.G. And so what I posted on my social was him going bunkers and bananas in the locker room. Put my song on. Let's go. Look, players, students, employees, employers, entrepreneurs, be true to who you are so that people that are in the places of power, leadership, can make true assessments about what they see because you were true about it. And I think that's what the Jets, that is that's the secret sauce to the Giants. The G-Man is the head coach just being real about whom he is. All right, last thing we'll talk about for real, for real. Shout out to the Steelers, Coach Tomlin popping the old man. Old man does not go down without a fight at all. The Steelers beat Tom Brady, Tampa Bay Bucks 2018. All right. Yeah, and the Rams are trying to figure it out as they figure it out. All right. Okay, so here we go. Seahawks lose to the Cardinals 9-19. Defensive stop or just Geno Smith. Y'all wrote him off, but he didn't write back. Like, bottom line, like Geno Smith is 3-3 and replacing. Go figure. His record is the same as Russell Wilson's. So say what you want, man. All right, so okay, last game, and then we out because I got other stuff to do. And catch up and coaching in the NFL is not as vast as college. College is everywhere. College ranges. There are 15 collegiate leagues of top 25, of BCS football. You have a ton of Division II leagues, a ton of Division III leagues, a ton of FCS leagues. College football is just vast. And so it doesn't take as long to get through the NFL. And because the NFL has the national eye. So it's really, I don't have to put you on anybody. I don't have to tell you where any teams are located or where they play, where the school is located, none of that. All right. So we got the clash of, man, I've said it before, the quarterback future is bright in the NFL. The the Buffalo Bills, man, if you are anyone of my age and you remember the Bills going to the Super Bowls, and the Bills were in my timeline were always a quality team, always. It was not, and even early in the late 90s and the early 2000s, they were still a solid ball club. They weren't terrible. They had some bad years, but big picture, the Bills have just been cursed by them going to Super Bowls and not winning Super Bowls. Again, my son knows about those Super Bowls. He wasn't even born. So when he brings it up with hopes, man, they gotta make them Super Bowls right, Pop. Dad, they gotta make, like, bro, you weren't even alive. Like, I don't understand. But the power of YouTube, I love it. So the Bills. My man Josh Two Man Allen. That's a pun on Home Improvement. Tim the Two Man Taylor. He was hilarious. He was awkward. He was full of ideas. He was hilarious. And he was honest. Right? He was always coming up with some new inventions that just look weird, but they worked until they didn't. Yeah, man. That's why nickname this dude Josh Two Man Allen because this dude has a lot of tools in his utility belt. They're awkward. You get on you get on his bandwagon because of his grit, his passion. Like when you look at him, you're like, yo, this dude, it's something about this guy. I want to fight with him. Like that's the magic of a magic quarterback right there. This dude gets it done running. He gets it done throwing. He fights for every yard. He knows when to go out of bounds. He knows when to go through the corner or the safety or the linebacker. And all the while, this kid is from Wyoming. Buffalo couldn't have drafted a better kid, man. Talk about the makeup of their people, the makeup of the area, the cold, the snow. The Billy Mafia found themselves a legend. I know it's early, but to watch this kid play, man, he's captivating. He's the same version of who he was playing. Like, that's the beauty about the kid. Like, he's going against, he has beat two quarterbacks that when you watch, you're like, man, this kid is electric. He beat Action Lamar Jackson, and he just beat Mahomes the Magnificent, Patrick Mahomes the Magnificent, 24-20. And the kid, dog, like everything he had to do it, he did it. Everything. Not just one thing, everything. Like throw the ball away, he did it. When he needed to throw the ball away, he did it. 2 years ago, he would make mistakes in these critical moments in the game that just spilled the game open and they lost. He's found a way to not make the mistakes, make the throwaway play to save the next play, and find Stephon Diggs. Hey, that's the same formula. I want you to be clear. This is the same formula that the Eagles are using. Same thing, right? It's the Jalen Hurts method versus Josh Two Man Allen. I love this dude. Like, I love that show. Period. They got it done. And statistically, you don't even care about the stats because he won. He went 27-40 on the average, terrible percentage, threw the ball 329 yards for 3 touchdowns, and he found Stephon Diggs on the throw that just opened the game wide open. That was just so pretty, right? Gabriel Davis showed up. I mean, he's targeting everybody. He targeted 7 different receivers. All right. I love this dude. I love the Bills. Me and my son, we was driving, coming back from his game. So I deleted the game at halftime, pick him up from his game. He like, Pop, we're winning. And now I did not even know. Shout out to my son and his technology. I didn't know he could pull it up on his phone. I know that's a thing. I don't watch games on my phone. And he's like, where's the game? Well, it's not on the radio because I'm throwback. I'll put it on the radio until it's here. And then he's like, what are you doing? And puts it on the dash, and we watch the game on the way going home. Man, I love being a father. All right, so look, at the end of the day, we both thought that the Bills would win. No, not for any other reason of Josh Allen and that defense. Whenever you have a good quarterback, he's going to be even better when you have a good defense. And that's a fact, Jack. And so this is Coach Malik Hall. It was your catch up with Coach during the lunch period. I made it through the lunch hour. You get 45 minutes for lunch. Hey, listen, at the end of the day, look, the NFL means not for long. And it's my hopes that your team will not stay trash, not for long. And that's the Detroit Lions. You're coming off the bye, so go get it, people. The Lion loyalists, I know it's tough. It's hard to win, but it is okay to win. This is Catch Up with Coach. I am Coach Malik Hall. See you next time. Peace.
I've been holding that for so long.